Once upon a time, there lived a little girl who was much loved by everyone, but most of all by her grandmother.
Once, she made her a little cape of red velvet. It was so lovely that the girl wanted to wear it all of the time, and so it was that she became called Little Red Riding Hood.
One day, the girl's mother called for her.
Little Red Riding Hood, here is a basket with some cakes and a flask of wine for you to take to your grandmother. She is weak and ill, and they will make her strong.
Yes, mother.
You'd better start off now before it gets too hot. And when you're in the woods, be sure to stay on the path.
Yes, mother.
Don't run or you might fall and break the flask of wine, as there will be none left for your grandmother.
Yes, mother.
And when you go into your room, don't forget to say good morning.
Yes, mother.
And don't go poking into all the corners of the house.
I'll do just as you say. May I go now, mother?
Her mother nodded, and Little Red Riding Hood set off on the path. Her grandmother lived deep in the woods about a half-hour walk from the village.
No sooner had Little Red Riding Hood set foot in the forest than she met the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood had no idea what a wicked beast he was, so she did not feel frightened.
Good day, Little Red Riding Hood.
Good morning to you, Mr. Wolf.
Where are you going so early, Little Red Riding Hood?
To grandmother's house.
What are you carrying in your basket?
Some cakes and wine. We baked yesterday and my grandmother is very weak and ill, so they will make her strong.
Where does your grandmother live, Little Red Riding Hood?
A short walk from here. Her house stands beneath the 3 oak trees near the hazel bushes. The wolf thought to himself, that tender young thing will be a delicious morsel and would taste better than the old grandmother. If I'm really crafty, I will get them both.
Go. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's house and knocked at the door.
Who is there? Little Red Riding Hood, I am bringing cake and wine. Open the door.
Laugh the latch. I am too weak and cannot get up. The wolf lifted the latch. The door sprang open, and without saying a word, he went straight to the grandmother's bed and devoured her. Then he put on her clothes, dressed himself in her cap, laid himself in bed, and drew the curtains.
Little Red Riding Hood, however, had been running about picking flowers, and when she had gathered so many that she could carry no more, she remembered her grandmother and set out on the way to her.
She was surprised to find the cottage door standing open, and when she went into the room, she had such a strange feeling that she said to herself,
Oh dear, how uneasy I feel today. And at other times, I like being with grandmother so much.
She called out,
Good morning! But received no answer. So she went to the bed and drew back the curtains. There lay her grandmother with her cap pulled far over her face and looking very strange.
Oh, grandmother, what big ears you have!
The better to hear you with, my child.
But, grandmother, what big eyes you have!
Little Red Riding Hood said with a surprise in her voice.
The better to see you with, my dear.
But, grandmother, what large hands you have!
The better to hug you with.
Oh, but grandmother, what a terrible big mouth you have!
The better to eat you with.
And scarcely had the wolf said this, then with one bound he was out of bed and swallowed up Little Red Riding Hood in one bite.
When the wolf had appeased his appetite, he lay down again in the bed, fell asleep, and began to snore very loud. A huntsman was just passing the house and thought to himself,
How the old woman is snoring. I must just see if she wants anything.
So he went into the room, and when he came to the bed, he saw that the wolf was laying in it.
Do I find you here, you old sinner?
said the huntsman.
Have long sought you.
Then just as he was going to fire at him, it occurred to him that the wolf might have devoured the grandmother.
and that she might still be saved. So he did not fire, but took a pair of scissors and began to cut open the stomach of the sleeping wolf.
When he had made 2 snips, he saw the little Red Riding Hood shining, and then he made 2 snips more, and the little girl sprang out, crying.
How frightened I have been! How dark it was inside the wolf!
And after that the aged grandmother came out alive, also, but scarcely able to breathe. Little Red Riding Hood, however, quickly fetched great stones with which they filled the wolf's belly, and when he awoke, he wanted to run away. But the stones were so heavy that he collapsed at once and fell dead. It is also related that once when Little Red Riding Hood was again taking cakes to her old grandmother, another wolf spoke to her and tried to entice her from her path. Little Red Riding Hood, however, was on her guard and went straight forward on her way and said to her grandmother,
Grandmother, I met another wolf. He had said good morning to me, but with such a wicked look in his eyes that if we had not been on the public road, I am certain he would have eaten me up.
Well,
Said the grandmother.
shut the door that he may not come in.
Soon afterwards, the wolf knocked and cried,
Open the door, grandmother. I am Little Red Riding Hood, and I'm bringing you some cakes.
But they did not speak or open the door. So the graybeard stole twice or thrice round the house, and at last jumped on the roof, intending to wait until Little Red Riding Hood went home in the evening, and then to steal after her and devour her in the darkness. But that grandmother saw what was in his thoughts. In front of the house was a great stone trough, so she said to the Little Red Riding Hood,
Take the pail, Little Red Riding Hood. I made some sausages yesterday, so carry the water in which I boiled them to the trough.
Little Red Riding Hood carried the water until the great trough was quite full. Then the smell of the sausages reached the wolf, and he sniffed and peeped down, and at last stretched out his neck so far that he could no longer keep his footing and began to sleep, and slept down from the roof straight into the great trough, and was drowned. But Little Red Riding Hood went joyously home, and no one ever did anything to harm her again.
Little Red Riding Hood by Brothers Grimm.